Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608, and today I'm going to be turning a pen out of wood, and this is Purpleheart. And no, it's not stained or painted or anything like that, it comes like that in nature. Yeah, it's purple. So I'm going to take the one, I can take this one, but I have one that's been cut in half, like that, and a hole drilled down the middle and a brass tube glued in it. I didn't film that because it was just footage of me gluing my hands to things. Anyway, and see there, I need to trim that off, because I want the brass tubes to be at the end of the blank there. But first, I need to sharpen up my chisel, so I don't have to do this first, but I chose to do it first because the grinder was right there. Anyway, there's a spindle gouge. I think it's a roughing gouge, and it needs just a little touch-up on the old grinder. So I have a dust mask and a face guard, because safety is #1 priority. Alright, so I got all geared up. Switch on the grinder. And I don't have sound on here because you'll just hear the whole time. Alright. So I'm not exactly sure what that, I think it's a round. But I like this chisel. And when you see the sparks fly off the top there, you know I've got to the right angle. Yep. That looks good. So next, the roughing gouge. Or spindle roughing gouge, or whatever. And do a similar procedure there. And I'm just touching it up. This isn't a good grinding, it's just a quick touch-up. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to move on to the drill press. And I have a barrel trimmer hooked up in the drill press, and this fancy vice clamp thing that holds my my block in place, my blank. Come on, tighten it down. And it's wobbling all over the place because it's just sitting on the bed of the drill press. And it goes out of focus. And see, it just kind of drills down a bit, and I'm scooting the blank down. I guess I didn't have the vise tight enough. Anywho, I'm just going to bring that down till I see the edge of the barrel trim, or edge of the brass tube. And this one takes forever, and I don't film doing this 3 more times, because it's kind of boring. So, once I get all that done, see how much I took out for that? I slide it on the lathe on a mandrel, and it has a couple bushings. Those guys there. Basically spacers, also a guide to show how the pin's going to fit together. I slide that back. I slide the blanks on, another bushing, and the other blank, and 2 more bushings. And then I slide the tailstock up, and adjust it, tighten everything down. I don't think I got it tight enough initially, so I think I tighten it down later as well. Wow, look at my table wobble. I don't notice it wobbling this bad when I'm using it, but looking at the footage, wow. Anywho, yeah, exciting footage of me tightening lathe parts. Here, making sure my tool wrist doesn't hit the stock as it's spinning. And I kick the tripod. Swap to a different angle here. And start out with the roughing gouge. And there, when it catches there, I think that's because I didn't have it tight enough. I eventually come back and tighten it and come back here with the round, or the whatever that chisel's called. And I've sped this up. This isn't live speed, real-time speed. It's sped up some. And purple wood's kind of a hard wood, so it takes a little longer than something like walnut or what was I doing the other day? Just chewed through it. Poplar. So yeah, just spinning the Purpleheart. Now when I laid the tool over the top there, I was checking for roundness to see if I had any flat spots. And you notice when I put it on the one I hadn't done anything to, it jumped all over the place. But it just sat smoothly on the other, so I didn't have any flat spots or irregularities or anything like that. And I framed this kind of odd. I probably kicked the tripod again and didn't realize it, so get to see weird angle. Or it's an artsy angle, it's not a weird angle. Alright, we're gonna take the roughing gouge and knock off the corners there. Once I get it lined up better, I have a better time with it. There we go. And I kick the tripod again. I'm not used to working with a tripod beside me, so I kick it a few times. See, checking again for roundness. It seemed to be okay. I think I kicked the tripod again, so I did everything here. I came back in with a different chisel and shaping it now. Ideally, you want to get the ends down to the bushings. And you'll notice that I haven't done that. But don't worry, it'll all come together in the end. I just kind of work through it. Now, usually the shavings don't quite fly off like that, but I have a fan beside me because it's really warm and humid out in the shop. Alright, so everything's good. And this is a skew. I think in the next transition, I realized I didn't sharpen the skew and this is taking too long. But I'm using the skew to bring it to the bushing there. See? Like that. Well, not quite like that. That one isn't quite to the bushing. I think it's here. Yep, there I realized you didn't sharpen that dummy. So I went back and gave it a little bit of an edge. And that did much better. I curved two little grooves in there and we start sanding. And I sand for half of an eternity. Starting with, 150 grit. Then moving up to 220, 230. Then to 320. And I've sped this up even faster than twice. Because I spend forever sanding. Then 400, then finishing off with a 600 grit sandpaper. And to be honest, I could have spent a little more time sanding. But sanding video is boring. Yep. Just sand, sand, sand. I should probably have some music or something, but that seems like work. Alright, so we sand it down. Just trying to get it all nice and smooth. I lost count. Yeah, that was 600. That's what it looks like now after all the cutting and sanding. So now, I'm gonna go get some sand and sealer. Oh, notice, no I'm not. Notice, it's not purple anymore. It's kind of turned to brown. And that has to do with all types of science reasons, oxidation, and alright, I don't understand it. But I do understand how to fix it. Yeah, torch it. At least that's what the guy on YouTube said. And the fan behind me is causing my flame to go everywhere, so I know a remedy for that. Point the fan somewhere else. Alright, now, see how the purple comes out? I forget the science reasons, but there are some. There we go. There, and that brought back the purple. Alright, you can stop with the torching now, it's purple, and it's out of focus. So, looking at the back ends of those chisel handles. Yeah, dummy, spinning it isn't going to do anything, can't see it. Now, here's my sanding sealer. It's to close up the grains and the pores and all that jazz. I think I put two coats. I forget exactly how much of this stuff you're supposed to put on, so I usually put too much on. Alright, now, after that dries after a little bit, you hit it with the last sandpaper you used, which was, or the last grit you used, which was 600 grit for me, so I hit it again. And that takes off the little nibs and whatnot. Now we got some high friction polish. And we're gonna polish this thing. Like a little blue cloth rag. Some people use paper towels, but they're too fibrous for me. The blue cloth rags seem to work better. They don't tear off and become part of the polish. And they don't scratch it up real bad and all that good stuff. Alright. And I know people who use old rags, t-shirts, things like that, but I like the cloths, the blue cloth, because I just throw it away. I don't have to worry about cleaning a rag or getting paper towel in my pan. Go. I don't know how much of this I put on. I usually put lots and lots of polish on, because I like a good, shiny, polished pen. Yep. And this is high friction polish, so it uses the heat of spinning to cure and all that good stuff, as I understand. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. And some people like to use super glue. I haven't had much luck with super glue. You got a line there, dummy. You need to... There you go. No, no. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Now, I haven't had much luck with super glue. At least not the finish. I think I need to get a different viscosity. So I'm using the high friction polish for now. And I'm polishing it. There we go. I think I'm done. At least I hope I'm done, because I've taken off the I put up the polish. Right now we're undoing everything, which is not on camera, and we're going to take the pin pieces off the mandrel, being sure to drop a bushing. And I have to go hunting for it and burn my hand on a hot motor. And so I don't lose them, I always slide them back on the mandrel. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Okay, there are 5 of them. Alright, no, it's over here. It's over here. You gotta focus. Come on, focus. Close enough. Alright, now I'm back to my my little vice press thing from Rockler. Now some people use a clamp for this. I found this vise, or a vice, works much better. And this one in particular I like. Anyway, these are all the fittings for the pin. That's the end cap. And here's the clip. Come in little baggies. Now, I put the little grooves on the end I wanted to be the cap end. Because of the way that one turned out, I thought it'd be better as a cap. So I kind of hold it in there, hold it in place. I slid the cap into the clip, then plugged it into the end of the tube, and just used pressure to push it into the brass tube. And I had a little grippy pad I set under the clamp, the vise thing, but I lost it. So I'm just sliding all over the work table. Okay, there we go. Got that part clamped on. That's the easy part. Now we're going to go on to the tricky stuff. There's the nib end point, the pointy end of the pen. I'm down a little. Come on, look at the viewer. I had it turned around so I could see it. Alright. This gets a little hairy sometimes, because sometimes it wants to go in funny and twist, and this one didn't do too bad. Notice I go a little slow there. I'm trying to adjust it, and you can't see anything because the vise is in the way. But there, I just press that in. Now we need the transmission. And you're going to see me pull it out and look through it. Because I had a transmission that was blocked once. And that was sad. It ruined the pin. Anyway, you just kind of slide it in there and squeeze it. Yep, there was me checking, make sure there's nothing in the pin. Like I said, I've messed one up like that. And you just kind of tighten it and try to get it lined up straight. That's what I'm doing there, trying to fidget it around. And tighten. Alright. Now I stopped at the end of the brass on the transmission, because you gotta check them, so what I'm doing now off camera, because I'm not smart, is I've taken the refill and slid in, and what the transmission does, it's the twisty bit of the pen, so you twist it and the ink comes out, the ink nib comes out, and that one wasn't quite right, or wasn't quite far enough, so I give it another couple turns. I clamp my hand in the vise, and I scream and holler. Well, maybe not. Although I have done that. Alright, now we're going to try it again with the refill. There we go. I think that's alright, or did I think that was enough? I'm staring at it now thinking, I'm deliberating. Alright, another half turn. I want to hurt it. Except if you push the transmission in too far, when you close the pin by twisting it, the ink still points out, so you have to be real careful at this stage. Alright, so you tighten up the refill, and make sure everything's good. One more piece to put on before we final assembly. It's this little middle piece here that just slides in over the transmission. By slides, I mean you have to force it on there. I usually pinch myself doing that, and there we go. It's all done. I think it's a nice looking pen. A good Purpleheart. And there's the original. That's what I made it out of. Well, not that particular piece, because it's still there. Anyway. Alright. I've been JW608, and thank you for watching.